We'll stay in Penfield, where they held the Section 5 track and field championships for the two largest classes in the section. We zeroed in on the dash. Among all the events at a track meet, it holds a special place. The 100 meters, the 100, the dash. The best sprinters in the region were at sectionals in Penfield last week, fighting over hundredths of a second in a race that lasts just over 10 seconds. But it is a season-long process.
We do a couple fours, a lot of fours, back to back. About 60-second break in between, get back at it. We lift a lot. What else? We just do a lot of core exercise too.
Carnell Noble is the man to beat. He inherited the role of top sprinter from former Greece Olympia teammate Desmond Mobley, graduated last year. You like being that guy?
Yeah, I love being that guy because I help other people lower their times. I help people PR.
On the girls' side, two youngsters would face each other in a sectional final for the first time. Get to know the name Lanae Thomas, a track and field junkie from Rush Henrietta via Jamaica, a 13-year-old 8th grader.
I've just loved track and field forever. I mean, I started running before I could walk, as my mom would say, but it was really fun.
Lanae's primary competition comes from Abby Frank of Penfield. She's just a 9th grader. They're in the middle two lanes. By a mere 3/100ths of a second in 12.44, a personal record, Thomas was the winner of the Class AA 100-meter crown in this budding rivalry that has 3 more years to run.
I wouldn't say much of a rivalry, but more of like a competition more. Like we've talked after and we keep congratulating each other and saying how fast we were. So I think almost like kind of like a rivalry, but more as friends and wanting to race against each other and do our best.
Among the challengers to Noble in the boys' Class A race is Andre Hunter of Charlotte, the newly minted City League sprint champion, another native of Jamaica. How important was that City League championship to you?
It was very important to me because I'm getting known now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Getting a little TV time, nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
In the last of 3 heats in Class A, Noble in the green, in the middle, won wire-to-wire in 10.84. Hunter was second in 10.92. Can you tell at the start of the race when you're out of the blocks whether or not you're going to have a good race?
Yes, I do because usually I should be the first person out the blocks. That's how I know that I'm gonna have a good race. I should be in first the whole race.
Senior Daquan Garfield of Edison won the Class AA race in 11:11, edging out Fairport football star Marquis Young at the finish by 1/100th of a second. Garfield is the latest in a long line of sprint champions from Edison Tech.
It's a lot to live up to, especially coming from Edison, a lot of legendary guys. You know,
Yeah.
So it's really good to win this today.
Marquis, what do you think of your race?
I think it was a great race. I think a lot of the opponents was very good. And I came in second place, but ain't nothing wrong with being in second place. I just have to work a little longer.
No, you know what? I was at the finish line, man. I thought you had him. What happened there?
I guess I leaned in too early. But I think if I would have leaned in a little later, I would have won the race.
They both did that at the same time, but I think our guy pulled off, their guy dipped a little higher, and our guy outbeat him with the head a little lower. So then they look at the chest and everything. So, but you got to finish. You really got to finish. You really got to get it all in how you explode out of the blocks and how you finish the race.
Latecomer to track and field. How come you didn't do this before? You're so good at it.
I always work for football season in the off season, so I never really had time for nothing else because football is my heart. But besides that, track, I found out that track gave me better, so this year I'm running track.
So it's an awful lot of work, for, again, tenths of a second.
Yeah, tenths of a second. That's just luck, pretty much. To win by tenths of a second, you got to get lucky. You got to out dip at the line and everything. So.
Katara Burrows of Wilson High School ran the fastest 100 for the girls, winning the Class A championship in 12.29 seconds. The team titles were claimed by Victor, R.H., Olympia, and Mendon.